Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm Christchurch born and bred, lived here most of my life, lived for Australia in 20 years and came back in 2007, so I've been living in the inner city east, just inside the 4 avenues. I saw the thing in the press and the person commented that he said Littleton, a lot of places are pre-motoring and they don't have drive-on access. Where are they going to put their trailer or caravan? And there's certainly a few places like that in the inner city, Phillipstown, that kind of area. But where we are is, I guess, medium and high density, medium density, whatever you want to call it. On a quarter acre, we've got 5 flats. At last count, there's about 14 vehicles. You get visitors and that sort of thing too. So even allowing for that, we've all got a single garage and you can sometimes squeeze one other vehicle in there, there's still a surplus that have to park on the street. And if I was to buy a caravan or something, or a mobile home, motor camper thing, it would have to park on the street, it wouldn't fit. I worry that too often changes to the law seem to fall most harshly on the lower half of society, and I think that's another danger of this law. If you've got a big house on a full-size section, you'll have a big enough yard, you can park your boat or your caravan, assuming you've got road access on your yard. But if you're one of these ever-increasing population of renters, who tend to be in apartments and flats, you need that. Also, further restrictions on berms. I always thought you weren't allowed to park on berms in Christchurch anyway, because hardly anyone ever does. But I lived for a while in Perth, West Australia, and parking on berms is the norm, and it's a very useful use of this shared public resource. Yeah, so at certain times of the year you get some tyre marks, and this person and from Hawthorne mentioned about the mud, but the grass recovers, and especially, as he pointed out, in narrow roads, that it can actually be safer to park on the berm than on the road. And what else have I got? Oh, and there was a term in the paper here, and it frightened me most of all, about the restrictions on parking the caravans and trailers and that, which you've got to point out, it's still, you've got to struggle to get a warrant of fitness every 6 months if you're a poor person, and pay the REGO, so they're in good condition, these things that are parked on the road, but that it would be enforced with discretion. And to me, that's tantamount to an admission that the poor people are going to get ticketed and the wealthy people can leave it there and no one will complain in their suburbs, only there for a couple of days. So that's primarily what I had to say. I can't think of anything else.
Great. All right. Well, thank you very much. I mean, we've certainly got your written submission in front of us, which similar points to the ones that you've made in the verbal submission this morning. And certainly a different set of considerations, particularly around parking of caravans and motorhomes and so on, than we heard from the Littleton submitter. But yeah, certainly things that will be taken.
Thank you. I see I've got a minute. I know I did have some little extra notes here. What somebody mentioned was the one about, oh yes, this is something I've come across before, resident parking only. I've heard that the US councils, United States councils, have put up signs, resident parking only, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And the reason for that is to target people sleeping in cars. Now, people don't sleep in cars because they've got a nice house to live in. They sleep in cars because they're homeless. Maybe if they're really lucky, they have a caravan to sleep in. I realise that the Christchurch City Council does not handle the big levers of housing affordability and availability. But should we be moving our laws, should we be looking to the future where we're going to have more homeless people, where people are going to have to start living in cars and caravans on the side of the road? Maybe we need to do that in the future. So these rules, suggested changes, seem to be going counter to that. You know, it may not be good to have people living in cars, but we might have to look to that for the future. And even, as I say, resident parking, and how's that work with visitors when they come to visit you? I don't know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much indeed for the submission. Some good points. Thank you. So that brings us to